Good morning and welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes and I'm glad you can join me this morning. I really love these Saturdays when I get to come and chat with you all and show you what I've been working on and some of the new exciting things Stampin' Up has delivered to us. So I've got today something a little bit different. It's called Country Flowers, and it's a suite that I have. Some of my favourite papers are in this suite, and so we're going to have a little play. I've used these papers before. They're called the Country Woods, and we're going to have a little play with it all today. So I'm going to just check we are coming live in the right place before we go any further, just in case I've gone astray and going somewhere else. No, it does look like we're live in the right place, so that's good news. So let's get started. Let's turn down to the desk and we'll have a look at the Country Flowers stamp set and the dies, and there's also a embossing folder that matches up perfectly. So let's have a look at it all and then we'll get creating. Just bear with me while I turn this up and flip it. The ceiling's no good. There we go. Let's get it onto the desk. It takes me a minute. I'm no professional at this, as you know, but if we can get it so that you can see what's going on, that's the start, isn't it? That looks pretty good. So we have the Country Flowers stamp set, and it's got a little table here or stool. Could be a milking stool, I don't know. And the churn and a teapot, along with some flowers, 2 lots of flowers and some leaves, and just some words, flower market. There's a little emblem here that we will use today. It looks like a bit like a flower, and it's got some lovely words. It's more to do with friendship, and there's also with heartfelt sympathies, but it's I'm so lucky to know you, sending love, and best friend ever. And then to match it, it has the dies that cut out the images, plus it has a few extras, like there's a lid for the teapot, and there's a little banner here that you can put across, well, this one, or make it a pot on its own, and some leaves and flowers. So we're going to use a few of those dies today. And this is the embossing folder. It's called the Eyelet 3D, and it's got matches up with this little image perfectly. So we'll use all of those today. So I'll pop them aside, and I'm going to get the card stock going. I will show you the paper I'm using. This is my favourite piece of DSP in the whole lot, out of the whole lot. I love it. But out of this collection or suite, I'm using this one and I'm matching it up with this one. So I'm bringing in those lighter pool party colours, but it's still all wood related. Now, I'm doing a card that's going to be different to the normal, so I'm going to cut my cardstock in half at 10.5 centimetres. So that's half a whole sheet. And then I'm going to score, now I've got to remember, I think it's 7 on one side. I'll do it this way. I know this one's 8. I'm trying to remember now. 8. And this one, I want the card 14.5. So this one will be about here. And I can't remember now if it was 7 or 7.5. So it's 7. There you go. And so that means when I fold the card this way, oh, my screen's frozen down here, so hopefully yours isn't. See if I can get it going again. Otherwise I won't see any comments. So now I've got a card that looks like this. It's not coming back up. We'll have to just look. Hopefully we're still going, but I'll keep going. So I've got a card like this that I need to decorate. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this piece of cardstock and I'm going to cut 7 centimetres. I'll do 7 this way. And I don't want really as much grey in it as that. I want more the blues. So I'm going to just cut that little bit off. And then I'm going to cut this at 10.5. So that is going to sit perfectly over here. I'm going to see if I can get this. Oh yes, we're going again. Just a glitch on my side. And this one I'm going to cut at 8 centimetres and at 10.5. Oh no, will I have the really worn bit? Maybe that'll look good. And so we'll get all those pieces of paper out of the road. And that's going to go there. So I'm going to glue those on to start with, because that's the base. There. Say hello if you like. Put a thumbs up. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching. I'll try and keep an eye out for comments as well. I'm getting better at it, but I'm not perfect. Takes practice and time. So this is the front of our card, and I'm really pleased to be able to use this lovely paper. Oh, this glue has run out again. Seems to be a common problem. I've been busy making cards this week. I hope everyone else has been able to craft in this cold, horrid weather. I'm getting ready for some classes, so I've been making lots of different cards up. So there's the front, kind of. We need to add a little bit more. And what I'm going to add is I'm going to use some of the base colour, but I'm also going to add in some of this. And I'm going to use the Spotlight on Nature dies, because again it's got that little eyelet. I don't know if you can see it, but the little eyelet you can't see it on that, can you? It's got these little eyelets that sort of match in with this. So I think this is a really good match. And for the that's going to be the outer circle. And the inner circle, I am going to cut out with the deckled circles. So they're just not completely, perfectly smooth. They're a bit rough-edged, which I think works well for this card. Let's put that back there. So we'll bring in the emboss and cut machine. And when I've cut this one out, I am going to emboss it. So we'll keep that out too. So let's get everything we need and bring this in. And if I cut a piece of this off, arms in the camera line, I can put perhaps the two through together. Oh, bang. So those are those two. I'll pop these dies away or onto the tray so I don't lose them. And they're going to sit like so. But to really highlight those eyelets, I'm going to emboss it. So we'll take those two pieces off. And I'll bring in this one. And we'll just pop this inside our embossing folder, like so. And it really doesn't matter, does it? Because no one's it's going to have things put on top of it, but it's just going to give that some definition under there. Now, we'll get rid of this for the minute. We will need it again. It'll come back and forth a few times today, I think. Leave that, get rid of that. So now I have this lovely embossed piece of paper with the eyelets all around. And that's going to sit here. So we can actually glue, well, I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this on. Just so that it sits up. Oh, I like to be generous, as people know. I'll put that bit there, and I'll put a bit here. Let's get these off. There we go. And that's going to go there. Oh, try and get it in the centre. That's not too bad. Now, I just want to hold this down a bit because it's going to flap open. I want it there in the centre. So it's more, it's not centre of the line because that's 8 centimetres and that's 7. So, or 8.5 maybe, 7.5 on one. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue. I should have grabbed a new one out. We might get away with it today, we'll see. And pop that on like so. A bit further across, yep. And you can check that you're not going to glue your card down. I've just got it over a little bit. I can pull a wipe out and just wipe that bit off. Right, so that's, oh, it's up too high, Ellie. That's a bit better. There we go. So that's the front. Let's decorate it up. I'm going to take this piece of cardstock that we used and I'm going to stamp in Night of Navy. And I just want a kettle. And I'm going to stamp also the sentiment Sending Love. Now, I want to keep this all in the same tone, so I'm using, what's this one? It's Dark Crumb Cake. This one here is our new beige, but I'm using Dark Crumb Cake. If you use the light crumb cake, it actually comes out looking exactly like the beige in our blend pens, or blends, not pens or markers. These are just called blends. But I want this one just a little bit darker, and I want to make sure I go right up to where it's going to cut. So we're going to cut this out. So that's that. This is my only bit of colouring today. Didn't want to spend ages colouring, so I'm actually going to cut out the flowers and the leaves. So we'll cut that out ready to go through the cut and emboss machine. And this one, I'm going to fussy cut. And it's not too hard to fussy cut, although I will get some decent scissors. That's my oldest pair. I've had this pair, I can tell by this little mark on it, had this pair and they've been working hard for 7 years. So I think I need to get them sharpened. Right, and we'll just go up. I've cut it, it's a bit short close at the top, but we'll just make it work. Left a little bit of a point there. Right. What are you doing on these cold days? Are you inside crafting? Or are you off doing something? Or staying beside a roaring fire? That would be lovely, wouldn't it? We used to have wood fire, but we don't anymore because my daughter's asthmatic. So, now, what do we want? We want a bit of old olive and some blue. This is the pool party. And we threw the dyes over here, so let's grab out what we need. I'm going to do the kettle I've got to cut out. Well, that's not coloured too even. I'll just go over it a bit. And I'll have those flowers and those and those. Lots of flowers and some leaves. So I'm going to do all that. Let's get it all aside again. Pop that up there so we don't lose it. Put these aside so we can cut everything out. Bring the machine back in. I'll just knock off all those little pieces, and as I said, I use the top cover when I find it. What did I do with it? I thought I put them all over there. No, it's over here. So I just scrape like that, this, and that gets all those bits off, and we can set up our cutting. So I'm going to cut out my kettle or teapot. Is it a kettle or a teapot? Might be an old teapot. I'll cut off a set of leaves. I want 2 of those, so I can cut another set in a minute. And we'll cut off a strip of this so it fits on. And we want lots of flowers. And I'll take this and roll it through. Come on. Now, there's our teapot done. And our first lot of leaves, I need another lot of leaves. We've got all the flowers we need. So that can go. And I'll just push them off. And I'll cut another set of leaves before we finish up with the big shot. I toiled with which colour green to use, or whether I would use even wild wheat, which was another colour that's in this set, but in this collection. But I ended up going with the old olive because I just felt it really needed to look like leaves. Now let's throw that over there. And we'll pop these out. And we can start decorating this section of the card. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my kettle on. And I'm going to use up some dimensionals here. I better put it in the centre so everyone can see, Ellie. So there he goes. That one's already off. And I want that to go about there. And then get rid of that, we don't need that. I wanted some thinner bits, so I tend to use the edges. Of course, we don't waste anything, but everything's flying today. It doesn't worry me if you can see it's a little bit through the leaves, because I'm going to pop some flowers on top, so that might be enough, because I don't want too many. Well, that's not too bad, better than my practice run. That goes there. And then I need another edge piece. And that's because I'm going to put this on. And it's very thin, so I just cut this time a thin piece off the bottom. So I've got one straight piece I can use. Come on. And then I just pop that on here, like so. And we'll see if we can get some more glue out and get some of these flowers on. Being deliberately tricky and not wanting to sit, so we'll give it some encouragement. And a bit like everything else in when you're doing something artistic, threes are always the way to go. Oh, come on, glue. Now you've come too much. I'll use this one. How's that? So that's my front of my card. But we need to do a lot more inside. Oh, if you're trying to comment, I can't see again. We've got stuck again. Oh no, it's fixed. Hi Renee, hi Lynette, hi Marianne. Oh, housework and ironing today. Oh, I hate that. My two peeves. Oh, ironing's my worst. Now, I want to do a little surprise in this card. So I'm going to grab some more. I've run out, so I have to use this. Some more beige. And I'm going to do 2 more circles. So I'm going to do a navy circle and a beige circle. And I'll show you how we're going to use them in a moment. Just put some things out of my way so I don't end up ink everywhere. Oh, no, I'm hoping I can, well, actually, it's paperwork day. I've got to type up tutorials. I've got about 7 or 8 to do. I hate typing. I need a secretary. Oh, Those things are gone these days. You don't have secretaries. It must be an old person. Talking of being an old person, I have a big birthday coming, a big 60 birthday, and I was having a chat with my dear old friend, my bridesmaid, and I was having a chat with her, and I said, I think for the party I might dye my hair, put a bit of colour in my hair, not full colour, but just a bit of colour. And she said to me, oh, you're going to go purple or pink? And I thought, I'm not that old, am I? Maybe I am. I was thinking, you know, highlights or something, but purple or pink? Well, what do you think? Should I go purple? Should I go pink? Should I just get gold highlights, which was what I was thinking of? Oh, I don't know. Purple or pink? Reminds me of the old blue rinses I used to get. Right. What are we going to do with this one? Well, we're going to take, I should stamp with my mat, shouldn't I? We're going to take this, and I'm stamping on So Lucky to Know You. This covers so many of my friends. Now, where did I put my ink pad? I did throw it to the side, didn't I? Not that side. Not that side. Where did I throw the ink pad? Oh, gosh, I do this every week with you. I put things aside. There it is. It is this side. Buried under all the cardstock. Gosh, I'm a slacker. Right. Let's stick that on there. And we're going to stick that on. If this really plays up, I might have to get another one. Actually, I'm going to grab another one out. I can use that for later. Let's go with a new one. Oh, isn't it lovely? New glue is fantastic. It just comes out so beautifully. Now, all these leaves aren't going to fit on here. So, I'm going to cut some off, but they won't be wasted. And that looks pretty good, except that leaf's a bit, so I'll just trim it so it looks nice and like a leaf again. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on it. And we're going to glue it up here. And then I'm going to take another flower. And I'm going to put one here, covering up where I cut that piece off so it doesn't look too unusual. And this one here. Oh, not too far down, don't cover up the words. There we go. And this circle is going to fit in here. And I need it to hide, so I need to work out exactly where I want it. So when you open up, you can't see it. So that's about right, about halfway, because I have done it slightly smaller. You can do it the same size, but you have to be really, really accurate. So I thought I'd cheat and go slightly smaller. And I do have these two little leaves are peeking through here, but when you first look at it, you won't notice that. Now, I've still got some leaves and flowers left, so we have to do the inside of the card. So we'll just grab a piece of cardstock, again in the beige, and I'm going to, I'll do it, it's 14.5, so I'll do 14. by 10. I've got one die I forgot to put in my little dish. I bought myself a dish because I've lost so many dies over the years, and I love it. It's fantastic. It sits there now, and at the end I know where every die is. So on this piece of cardstock, I'm going to stamp this one in the corners. So that comes from matching up with our little teapot. And I'm then going to stamp the words, if I get it up the right way, best friend ever. Now, I like to make sure that it's going to be hidden by this circle. So each time they open the card, it's a reveal. So what I'm going to do is put a little mark here, so I know to keep everything on that side of that line. You can wing it, as in not put a little mark, but I like to make sure that I've got a reminder. And then I'm going to take these leaves and just with a little bit of glue, pop them there. Oh, I didn't trim that one up. And it does look like it needs a trim. Where it was attached to the other one. Now, my hands are shaking now. That's it. Now, can I get it back where it was so my glue isn't so messy? There we go. A little bit on of that one. And this one, you can just go down here. And there is a drop of glue that's come off there. Just clean that up. And I will take my rubber and get rid of that mark. I find these white rubbers the best. I don't know what they're called, but if they're anything fancy, but they really do better jobs than some of the others. And then we'll just pop this on and we're done. So although the card's going to look, you know, great, it's not that hard to do these cards. I guess they call them a gatefold. So let's have a look at it. Hopefully. And so we've got sending love at the front. And we open it up. So lucky to know you. And best friend ever. And I just think it's a lovely little card that uses this country flowers stamp set in a different way than what I've done so far. So I really like it, but I'd rather hear what you think of it. If I received this, I'd think it was fabulous. But then it's got my favourite papers and colours, and I love this country feel and the old wood feel. So it's stuff I like. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed it. Let me flip you back to me. Oh, we've got the curtain. Curtain's exciting, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Marianne. I do like it, and I'm glad you do too. It is rather a lovely card to receive, I think, and hopefully the people that I'm going to give it to, or the person I'm going to give it to, likes it too. So I hope you have a good day. Try and stay warm. Here in Ballarat, we've had some really icy days. I went to take my daughter horse riding on Thursday, which has been our coldest day, and it was so icy. I swear it was going to snow, but it didn't. But we had a really good time, and it was lovely to watch her do her learning her jumps and things, so that was great. So look, have a good day, have a good week. Don't do too much housework, Lynette. Enjoy the day somehow too. And I will catch you next Saturday with something different again. I don't know what it'll be. Let's see what I come up with. You have a good week, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.